Today, I have to do a hydraulic fluid change on my 1975 John Deere 300. If you don't already know, it is a good idea to verify what fluid is in the transmission already, because you can use either John Deere HyGuard, which is just their hydraulic fluid, or you can use ATF, or automatic transmission fluid also. So you can check on these earlier model 300s. It's just this dipstick right here. You can pull it out and then just wipe it on a nice white rag or a paper towel, and you can see there that it's coming out red. So that means that transmission fluid was used in this. So it is a good idea to go back with the automatic transmission fluid in this one. If it comes out clear, then you can go with the HyGuard John Deere fluid. Here's a closer look at that dipstick. If you just need to check your fluid, you just pull that out and verify that the fluid is in the safe operating range on the dipstick. If you have a 300 that was made after serial number 71161, which is the 1977 model, you will have a sight tube right on the side of that back panel right there, and this is true for the 312, 314, and 316 Kohler tractors also. Now that we've verified what fluid we need to get that old fluid out. So we need to remove this transmission to axle cooling tube, and to do that I am going to use a 1-inch flare nut wrench. We just have to loosen up these fittings. And you'll want to have the cap for the fill tube loosened up on the back of the tractor. That will help the fluid drain faster. Swapped out to my rubber gloves here. It is a tight fit to get this hose loosened up, but now you can just let it drain out. Oh, there we go. Once you wrestle that hose out of there, you can drain all the fluid. The next step is to get that old oil filter off, and to do that I have this great set of oil filter wrenches from Duratech. The one that we're going to need is this 3 1/4 to 3 7/8 inch strap style oil filter wrench. And as always, the links for all the tools and the products that I use for this job will be in the description of the video. The correct filter for the job is the John Deere AM39653, but I did get this knockoff one from Amazon just to make sure that it fits. So if you want to order this one from Amazon, you can do that. And just as with any other filter, you want to put just a thin coat of oil on the gasket to make sure you get a good seal. And then just spin the filter on and just tighten it hand tight. We got the new filter on there, and I cleaned up the threads for the cooling tube, so let's get that reinstalled. Got to put it up in the top mount first and then just swing the bottom into place. It's a real tight fit, so you just kind of got to muscle it in there. And then make sure that that lower hose gets seated all the way in. And then always can be a little tricky to get a flare fitting rethreaded, but looks like these are good. And then we don't want to tighten these too tight, just make sure they're good and snug. Like I said earlier, there are two types of fluid that can be used in this system. Generally, I like to use John Deere High Guard Low Vis in all of my tractors, but the previous owner of this tractor did switch to automotive style ATF. So for that, we're going to want to use a Type F automatic transmission fluid. And this system does take 5 quarts of fluid, but we will just put in 3 quarts and then we will check the level. Be sure to take your time when filling up the fluid. It is pretty easy to overflow that tube. And as you can see, with only 3 quarts added, it actually did go a little bit over. So now I will start the tractor and then run through the hydraulics a little bit and then check the level again. And now you can see after running it, it has dropped down below the safe level. So I will go ahead and add a little bit more, probably about a half a quart more. And then I'll go run it again. So I just started it up and then drove it back and forth a few times to get the fluid flowing. So dipstick's probably going to have a little extra on it, so I'll wipe it off first and then put it in again. And now we can see we're right at the middle-ish area of that safe zone, so probably just go another half a quart and we should be fine. All right, there. And now we are well within that safe zone. And now there is just one thing left for you to do. Go ahead and click on this playlist and you can learn more about the John Deere 300. And then also you can click here to subscribe if you want to. I would really appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Now I have to clean up my mess. All right.